This is Pokémon Trivia Master. Today's categories: Shadow Pokémon attacks, Play It Safe, which is moves, abilities, or items that protect you in some way, Let's Make an Appeal, Green Machines, Gotta Snag 'em All, and Who's That Pokémon? We'll start with Let's Make an Appeal for 100. This edible cube is found in Pokémon Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and their remakes. It's crafted from berries and fed to Pokémon in preparation for contests. Each one increases unique conditions such as coolness, cuteness, or toughness. Correct response: what is a Pokéblock? If you got it, add 100 to your score. Let's Make an Appeal 200. This is one of the 5 conditions in Pokemon contests. It changed its name from Gen 3 to Gen 6 and features many grass and psychic type attacks. Be careful not to use this type in beauty or cool contests, or you'll lower the crowd's excitement. What is smart or clever? If you got it, add 200 to your score. Green Machines, 200. Although it's green, this color swap Pokemon has the ability to change colors to blend into its environment, and a natural purple version of it was featured as a shopkeeper in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red and Blue. What is Kecleon? Green Machines, 100. This future Paradox Mon fits the category perfectly because it's about as machine-like as you can get. It's half psychic type, unlike the Pokemon Virizion, which it closely resembles. What is Iron Leaves? Gotta Snag 'em All, 200. This is the first Shadow Pokemon available to snag in Colosseum, and is one of the few fighting types. Good news if you enjoyed this chunky Mon, because it is also a Shadow Pokemon featured in XD Gale of Darkness. What is Makuita? Let's Make an Appeal, 300. Featured in both Gen 3 and the Gen 6 remakes, this tough attack is very appealing, earning 6+ hearts by itself. Careful though, after using it, the Pokemon becomes much more easily startled. What is Takedown? Also acceptable are Double Edge and Superpower. Gotta Snag 'em All, 400. This Rock-type Pokemon might be easy to miss in Colosseum's post-game, as it is the only one that you can snag during a Colosseum tournament. Luckily, its high defenses make it unlikely to be one-hit KO'd by mistake. What is Shuckle? Shadow Pokemon attacks, 100. No need to hurry, all Shadow Pokemon in Colosseum know this 90 base power attack. It's also featured in XD Gale of Darkness, but its power dropped to 55. What is Shadow Rush? Gotta Snag 'em All, 100. This second stage Shadow Pokemon is currently preferred by speedrunners due to its faster attack animations than its water counterpart Croconaw. It can be snagged from Rosso in Phoenix City. What is Quilava? Gotta Snag 'em All, 300. It's our Gambler Challenge! Choose a wager between 0 and your total points. You either add or subtract your wager if you get the correct response. This Prem Pokemon is the first you can snag from a Cipher admin in XD Gale of Darkness. It's useful with its powerful early game Shadow Rush, and in singing opponents to sleep later on. Correct response: what is Delcatty? If you got it, add your wager to your score. If you missed it, subtract it. Who's That Pokemon? 100. Who's that Pokemon? It's Manectric. Who's that Pokemon? 200. Who's that Pokemon? It's Poliwrath. Shadow Pokemon attacks, 200. The most common Shadow attack in XD Gale of Darkness, showing 40 base power. Perhaps this attack helped name a certain electric-type baby zebra that was introduced later on. What is Shadow Blitz? Shadow Pokemon attacks 300. This energetically named condition outrages Shadow Pokemon and increases their crit chance on Shadow Rush to 95%. It was replaced in XD with Reverse Mode, which was a major drawback in battles. What is Hyper Mode? Play it safe 200. It's elementary, my dear Watson. Pokemon who use this fighting type attack are protected from harm. The odds of its success drop with each successive use. What is Detect? Play it safe 300. It's transparent that this item introduced in the Paldean games is a favorite of physical attacking Pokemon, allowing them to avoid the effects of Intimidate and other stat debuffs. What is a Clear Amulet? Who's that Pokemon? 400. Who's that Pokemon? It's Piplup. Shadow Pokemon attacks 400. This attack, fittingly named, splits all active Pokemon's HP by 50%. It requires a recharge on the following turn. Perhaps it's best to avoid this attack as a whole. What is Shadow Half? Shadow Pokemon attacks 500. This attack covers the field in a shadowy aura for 5 turns, dealing continuous damage to non-Shadow Pokemon. What is Shadow Sky? Who's that Pokemon? 300. Who's that Pokemon? It's Ninetales. Who's that Pokemon? 500. Who's that Pokemon? It's Swadloon. Play it safe 100. No, it's not magic. It's an ability. This floating technique allows Pokemon who aren't the flying type to avoid taking damage from ground type attacks. What is Levitate? Gotta Snag'em all 500. This is Cipher Admin Eldest Ace Pokemon, coming in at an intimidating level 50. It would be easier to beat if its teammate Lapras was available to snag elsewhere before the battle. What is Salamence? Green Machines 400. This fighting type Pokemon will wrestle you down if you disagree with it being green. Its limber body and powerful wings allow it to attack its opponents from above. What is Hawlucha? Play it safe 400. This ability, unique to Serena, prevents opponents from attacking it or its allies with increased speed priority moves. It's fittingly named to represent Serena's regal aura. What is Queenly Majesty? Play it safe 500. This fairy type attack guards the user and allies from status moves, but doesn't block moves that deal damage. The Pokemon Company didn't allow it to make the jump from Sword and Shield to Scarlet and Violet. Quite sneaky if you ask me. What is Crafty Shield? Let's make an appeal 400. In the original games, this cute attack was often used in combination with Water Sport to earn 8+ hearts from the judges. In the remakes, not only was the combo removed, but the attack only could receive 2+ hearts instead. What is Mud Sport? Let's make an appeal 500. This Pokemon in the Gen 3 games was nicknamed Rickolek, and in the Gen 6 remakes was renamed Bolt. It shockingly made many appearances in cool contests. What is Electrike? Green Machines 300. This grass cat was introduced as the middle evolution of a Paldean starter. It wields a hard flower on a vine similar to a yo-yo for surprising attacks. What is Florigato? Green Machines 500. Although not normally green, the shiny version of this sun Pokemon is. Though not a shadow Pokemon, this is surely a fan favorite in Colosseum and is also obtainable in XD Gale of Darkness. What is Espeon? Thanks for playing, trainers! The max score was 10,400. Leave your score in the comments along with future categories that you'd like to see. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can catch future content of Pokémon Trivia Master.